Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly lore keeper today, because today we are going to be playing the first of 5 parts of a mini campaign, I guess, to wrap up 2024 using Free League's excellent The One Ring RPG 2nd edition to play through a adventure I've called A Year in Eriador. One Ring, if you're not familiar with the game, is one of the role-playing games published to play adventures in Middle-earth. It is currently in its 2nd edition, now published by Free League or Free League. The game is divided. At least one of the ways you can structure your adventures in it is by seasonal adventures, and we're going to take that approach in this one, with each adventure or session taking place in one season. We are opening in the winter of, I can't remember what year in the Third Age offhand. But with me today are the stars of today's session, the Fellowship. We will have gathered for our opening part of A Year in Eriador. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your experience with the One Ring is. First up, we've got our resident armorsmith, Dave.
Everyone, I'm Dave, and I'm playing Nimla, who is an elf from Mirkwood. And I haven't played. I think I played One Ring once, but it was 1st edition, so I haven't played 2nd edition yet.
Nice. It's very similar to. There's been a couple changes to it, but overall, the game will look very similar. It'll just be fuzzy bits that'll be a little different. Next up is James.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm playing Vague, the Dwarven Messenger. And I've played it and run it a couple of times.
Nice.
Okay.
Next up is Sean.
Hey, I'm playing Amlath, a Ranger of the North. I've played, a handful of sessions, maybe.
Nice. Next up is Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham, and I'm playing Gwindor, the elf warden. The sun is sinking, and the oak in gloom has wrapped his feet.
So does that mean you have played before?
Oh, sorry. I played a lot of 1E quite some time ago. I played a little bit of 2E with James and who did I play? But not very much. So I'm sort of coming back to it.
Nice. And last, but certainly not least, is Carl.
Hello, I am playing Dagmar, and I have played like once or twice, but it's been a while, so I will probably just go, okay, Kevin, what do I roll for a little bit?
Sounds good.
And Dagmar is from Lake. Is she a Lake? Dale? She's from Dale. Okay. Yeah. Is that right?
She's a Barding.
Dale?
So
Barding.
Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
she would be from Lake Town.
Barding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So then, guys, we are opening our session with you guys in Tharbad. Now, in the interest of actually, getting through some adventures, we're going to speed along a couple things, and we're going to shortcut some stuff. What I have assumed is that as winter has come to Tharbad, one of the last remaining cities in Eriador, we have our 5 companions who have come together. Why is that up there? Oh, probably because from last time we played. All right.
When they fought the doppelgangers.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, what we have seen is that in the last few months, the trio of Vig, Amlath, and Gwindor, who have come down from Bree, have found themselves in service to the White Wizard, to Saruman. There is a local apothecary or sage named Arsenius the Healer. He speaks with an accent that suggests he comes from perhaps Minas Tirith itself, but certainly somewhere in Gondor. And in the ruins of Tharbad, Tharbad is still a functioning city thanks to the strong leadership of a local who is said to have been turned his heart from banditry and into rulership, wedding himself to one of the last remaining nobles in or noble lines in Tharbad. But it still can be a quite dangerous place. I'll leave it to you to tell us what has brought or what has interested your characters in joining this fellowship, and in particular in serving the White Wizard. But the task that Arsenius has put before you is one of, well, it's a bit curious. You'll note that if you look at a map of Eriador, get you guys out of there. Tharbad is where our little rune is here. And to the east of Tharbad is a sprawling marshland known as the Swan Fleet. And the Swan Fleet has a long history as part of a region, or Holland, as the elves knew it. And unfortunately, it now has fallen into a bit of shadow. And the water has, from the Anduin has... No, it's not the Anduin. What is the name of that river?
Glanduin.
Glanduin.
Is that it?
There we go. Has choked on reeds and fallen trees and so forth, and left that land a nearly impassable land. But like much of Eriador, there are histories in even the most inconceivable regions. While no one would think to build anything in the Swan Fleet now, in another age, there is said to have been extensive ruins or extensive things that were built up in there. And in particular, there is one legend of an elven maid that is of interest to the White Wizard. Her name is currently lost to the ages, the conflict with the enemy that led to the fall of a region, the betrayal of the smiths that were in there, has lost her name, but it's known that she was favored by Celebrimbor, the smith. It is also known that she fell to some... It's unclear from the legends whether it was a curse or whether it was betrayal through poison of some kind, or perhaps a combination of the two. But what is known is that the favored of Celebrimbor, not only for her fairness, but also through her art, was said to be set to rest. It is also said that she was favored not only by Celebrimbor, but by his dwarven allies as well, and it is they who built the place to keep her safe. Safe for another age. It is unclear whether the last resting place of this elf maiden was constructed before the betrayal of the enemy or afterwards, but it is likely it is before. Regardless, what the White Wizard wishes to know is whether those ruins still stand, and if so, what secrets that the favored of Celebrimbor may have with her. Whether they are still there. The legends refer to her as sleeping, and while some bards or performers or minstrels may make artful use of that, the histories of the elves, while they may be recorded in song, are not as artful. Sleeping may indeed mean simply sleeping, and not dead or passed beyond this world. So it is possible that there is someone sleeping in the depths of the Swan Fleet who shared an anvil with Celebrimbor and walked the trees of Holland, or under the eaves of the trees of Holland, and the age before the shadow came to it. Now, on a more practical purpose, the Swan Fleet is an extremely dangerous region to travel. There is no question that a shadow lies above it, and it is said that bandits and other ne'er-do-wells hide themselves within there. Dagmar and Nimloth, you have also brought yourselves to Tharbad, likely from the Gap of Rohan. You have probably been in service to the White Wizard in Middle-earth or in Wilderland, on the western side, the eastern side of the Misty Mountains. But you have been brought here, perhaps in part to assist with such a daunting task as navigating the reeds of the Swan Fleet and trying to find the two, not only the ruins, but any sign of civilization within there. And the final thing I will mention that you have learned is that these places, the Swan Fleet, may have become very different, but the land in this region where elves dwelled and where they loved, it remembers. So there may be things, the legends they say of swans the size of ponies, or the strange animals that may bargain with travelers. These may be legacies of that love. The elves are greatly favored by Middle-earth, and the land, even when the shadow lies deep, does not fully forget. So, you will be departing Tharbad. Why don't you tell each other a little bit about each other? So those who have yet met, Vieg, Amlaith, and Gwyndor, you have traveled together thus far, but Dagmar and Nimloth, you have not met them before. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit of what has brought your heroes here? Remember, you may, those of you who have played this before, you may remember that there is a favored member of the Fellowship that you can select. So if there are relationships between them, you get a benefit when trying to assist or to act in protection of your favored member of the Fellowship. You also fall deeper into shadow when something befalls them. I'm sure nobody will die. I'm sure, guys. There's very few fang dragons in Middle-earth, and mostly I think those are a myth. So why don't we go left to right? Nimloth, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I think Nimloth had initially not wanted to help the White Wizard way back, not because anything against the White Wizard, but it's more wanted to stay in Mirkwood and be with the elves, and serving some being from outside of Mirkwood just didn't seem appropriate. But yeah, it was once he realized that life outside of Mirkwood is full of danger and stuff, there was kind of a like a rush or excitement that he had not experienced in the past, and I think that's where he picked up his a bit of love for adventure.
So to give context for the era as well, this is after the Battle of Five Armies, but before the War of the Ring. So this era takes place in. I'm trying to think here. Is the Necromancer still in Mirkwood at this point, or has the Necromancer been cast out? Do you guys recall? Those who are
cast out, I believe, because that's why Gandalf was disappeared for a while in The Hobbit. I thought, but they dealt with that. I had to
during The Hobbit. I honestly don't remember, but I know that there would be, whether the Necromancer was still active in Mirkwood or not, the darkening that came to Greenwood would have come from outside Nimloth. So I'm not sure whether that was something that would have factored into your decision to leave, that there are forces outside of Mirkwood that have come. And that may have led you to meeting up with Dagmar at some point, too, another servant of the White Wizard. What about you, Vig?
Oh, Vig's a bit of a taciturn man, dwarf, but a dedicated traveller, and a man who understands the customs and courtesies of different folk that he comes across. But very curious, a man who wants to find out more about the world, even though he won't always admit it, especially to elves. Too full of themselves, elves.
Oh, no.
Amlaith, how about yourself?
He is a bit secretive, and like all rangers, are devoted to fighting Sauron and his minions by ancient tradition. So his participation was easily obtained, and sort of quiet but serious.
He also has a bent for learning as well. Because his Amlaith's calling is scholar, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Gwindor, how about yourself?
So Gwindor was commissioned by Elrond Half-Elven as a warden to support the keeping of the road south to Tharbad and beyond to the White Tower open. And so eschewing perhaps the more comfortable life in Rivendell itself, this somewhat well-to-do Noldorian, whose family tree goes back to Valinor itself, has eschewed that and has become, if you like, one of the wild. And his path took him down the Tharbad Road to the southwest, southeast, in fact, and to the White Wizard. And he is kind of working...
Forgive me, let me back you up. Your contact with the White Wizard is only through Arsenius thus far.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. In which case, scrub that bit. My work as a warden has brought me to Arsenius, and his calling to those swamplands is of particular interest to me because that affects the keeping of the roads open.
Mm-hmm. Well, Amlaith and you may have. It would not be surprising if Amlaith has been to Rivendell as well, and is familiar, because one of the things we talked about last session was the selection of the patron, and it's I forget, I don't remember her name offhand, but Aragorn's mother is one of the available patrons, and there was some talk about Amlaith serving the White Wizard in addition to potentially finding benefits to assist, gosh, I can't remember what her name is offhand. But you two likely know one another from that, because or at least you may have been familiar with Amlaith's interest in traveling the waste of Eriador and keeping the ancient kingdom safe. Dagmar.
Well, apparently Dagmar is a prosperous barding out of Lake Town, and I think she really, maybe her weakness is what drew her to Saruman in the wake of the Battle of Five Armies, seeing a wizard have all this sort of influence on the, in the region. Well, she looked for service of another wizard, if that works out, and heard about Saruman the White. And her weakness is allure power, so that seems, although in contrast to Amlaith, she hides it well because she's fierce and generous as a leader, and leads from the front as a captain should. I think that works.
If I might make a suggestion, perhaps it's her. Like one of the reasons why I wanted to back off Gwindor, having met the White Wizard yet, and Dagmar. These characters are at the start of their adventuring career, right? Like this is the
so she just heard
start of their tale.
Yeah.
So perhaps she is. There's something that the White Wizard recognized in her as a young, barding warrior, and that brought Nimloth and Dagmar, and you two would have traveled like leagues to reach Tharbad, around the Gap of Rohan and up to Tharbad. The lands, in contrast to what maybe the, post Battle of Five Armies prosperity that you're seeing in Lake Town, Tharbad is a reminder of ages past, right? Like it is a ruined city for the most part. So what was lost and what potentially could be rebuilt may have maybe a kind of a constant reminder, or this would serve as a good reminder for you of how old this land actually is, and how far the West has fallen with the fall of the Shadow. Does anyone have any sense of a connection between their characters, or want to propose one between them and their fellows?
Well, I think it makes sense, Dagmar and Nimloth, since they've traveled from that area.
Okay.
For a while, so that could work, at least from Dagmar's point of view.
And same from Nimloth.
Yeah, they complain about dwarves maybe most of the time.
Probably.
They started everything.
One of you has so on the top right are your like special items. I can't remember what the game calls them, but basically it's just things that like give you a bonus of 1 dice to your skill checks. One of you has dwarven maps.
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, because dwarven travelers, selling services as smith and some of their exotic tools and fireworks have traveled widely across these areas. So you've got maps that you acquired from them. What about the trio?
And where do we put that? On the fellow focus? Or
Top,
what are we...
Fellow focus, yeah, top left.
Okay.
I'm just looking that up. What about Vieg, Amlath, and Gwindor?
I think Amlath feels that way about Vieg because of Amlath's curiosity towards secrets, and Vieg is also curious for being a curious dwarf. So,
Calling me weird.
that was inside voice. That wasn't my outside voice.
And what about Gwindor?
Oh, I don't know. Who have I been with? Amlath and Vieg.
Amlath and Vieg, you've traveled down from Bree thus far. And you actually traveled from the last homely house to Bree with Amlath.
Well, okay. So I think just for laughs, my family were very close to our departed friend Celebrimbor. And Celebrimbor taught us how great the dwarves were. For they were great craftsmen, and he was known for his workings with the dwarves. And so I've always had a great respect for the dwarves. And so perhaps maybe whether it's welcomed or not, and hopefully not, my fellow focus might be Vieg.
It would be a callback to that, if Gwindor has that connection to Celebrimbor and, if not recollections, then having been told stories of the allies of the happier times in Eregion. Vieg may be a throwback to that. A dwarf who isn't constantly pissed at the elves and is curious and looking to, or at least willing to entertain the rituals and the customs of the elves.
Well, he might be, but then he might have a point, so that's all right.
All right. So then, whenever your fellowship focus is wounded, you gain 1 shadow. And on the upside, when you spend... when you provide support to your fellowship focus, they gain 2 dice instead of 1. And that is it. I thought you got you also acted as inspired, but I stand corrected. All right. So then, we can assume that you have spent some time in Tharbad. Is there any stuff that you would wish to indulge in, or not indulge in? Anything you'd want to do before setting out for Swanfleet? Anything you would want to look into? Examine.
I mean, I think Dagmar, as you know. I mean, is there a way maybe we can find out from the locals, like who has gone into Swanfleet, what to expect, other than rumors that we've heard? Maybe someone with eyes on, if that's possible, to look around, or are there more local rumors other than what we've heard?
Well, there may be. So the way the game models that kind of stuff is you try to find a place or a patron or a repository of lore. Fortunately, there is the Great Library. There's the old library of Tharbad that does have a great deal of learning, in spite of the deterioration that has affected the city. The old library is one of those last remaining remnants of old lore. There also is likely ne'er-do-wells within Tharbad. Those, while the ruler is said to have set aside his banditry ways, there's plenty in his service who are not so far gone. So you may be able to find some information through them as well.
So I wondered if I might do something similar.
Yeah.
Dagmar is no scholar. Yeah, Dagmar is no scholar, so she would be more apt to go talk to the peoples, as ne'er-do-well as they might appear.
Okay. So
I might do the library then.
Okay. So let's see here. And remember, if you have this is non-combat time, so if you have a trait or a distinctive feature that would apply, you can trigger that to gain luck. We're going to use the optional rules to spend luck after you roll. So for those listening at home, we're not getting the game wrong. We're just choosing to do it a different way. And the fellowship phase. Hold up. We're going to use the rules from that to see if there's anything extra you can learn. Let's see. Here we go. A company including a warden can choose this activity, gathering rumors, as a free action. So, as the warden, Gwindor, you actually will be able to pick up some information for free. And let's see here. And I think we'll do the same thing for MacLeod in the... If I might just make a quick change here, guys. Gwindor will be the one who is keeping his ear close to the ground as the warden, and MacLeod, perhaps you spent some time in the with the Great Library.
Sounds good.
Or the old library. Gwindor, what you have heard is that there are 2 communities that are within the Swanfleet. One of those is called Swantown. Swantown is said to be a community built by a former bandit and built by effectively folks who have nowhere else to go. There are said to be ne'er-do-wells within there, and Swantown, though, is said to be a place that is a true refuge. At least that is what you've heard. Not necessarily for, for men, evil men. The other is a place called Medcota. And Medcota is said to be somewhere deeper within the Swan Fleet, and what stands out there is a place called the House of Patient Women. And it's said to have a connection to Swantown as well. But let me make sure, there we go. They're said to have a connection to Swanfleet in some capacity. But the wise women of Medcota and the House of Patient Women is said to be a place of great insight and secrets. They are also said to have a connection with a creature of myth called the Ghost Bird. And the Ghost Bird, you have heard, is a ancient and seemingly unaging creature that is a legacy of an earlier age. Those who would seek to do ill to the wise women of Medcota or to the folk of Swantown are said to be visited by the Ghost Bird.
Nice.
So, those are things to look for within there. Amlath, what you have found is... Here we go. You have a name, Amlath. The name is Nethig. Nethig. I'll put it in chat. Nethig is said to have been a favored of Celebrimbor. And she is said to have fallen to the shadow and early before the betrayal of the Lord of the Rings and the fall of Shadow on Eregion. What you have heard is that the wise women, or what you've read, is that there is a dwarf-built palace deep within what is now the Swan Fleet. And that at a time, there was a road that ran from the whispering halls of Celebrimbor to the doors of this palace, the resting place of Nethig. So that may be of value when trying to find this place. If there was a pathway of the elves, you have passed some of reminders of those when making your way down the Greenway. So it is possible that you could find something like that once again. That is all you're able to find in Tharbad. Now there's just the task. Oh, go ahead.
Now, if I asked for, looked around merchants and such like, visit a couple of stores which were clearly not doing local produce, and where travelers might stay, like maybe our own inn, in fact.
Yeah.
It's just to find out information on the route to Swantown and Medcot.
There is no route to Swantown or Medcot. If
There's
you
no
bring
trade?
it to local travelers, if you bring it up, they'll say it's rumors. Nonsense.
Rumors.
No one
Okay.
lives in there. No one travels from there. No one trades from there. There are bandits out there, and they have invented these places. Those who seek safety in the Swan Fleet are simply playing into the machinations of the bandits. It's foolishness. That's what the average traveler will know. Gwyndor, you know better. Any other questions or things you would want to ask in Tharbad before setting out?
It's probably not relevant, but my curiosity would be just to understand if there's been any word of anything that has been sourced from Ostian Edil, the fortress of the Eldar, the great city that sits at the other end of the river. Just one of those things where I'll probably just ask the question if there's been any word.
Yeah, no, I mean, so in an ongoing campaign, maybe we'd explore something like that for the purpose of a 5-part thing that's going to bring us to Moria.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine. But it's the sort of thing he would do. He would probably want to understand anything about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Them.
I'm muted. Sorry. I was like, why was I muted in that other? Sorry. Yay, we get toast them all.
Cheers.
Yeah, is there any, do we need to report to anybody, like any person of authority? I guess we could ask our contact. I don't want to be mistaken for bandits. Arsenius. Do we need to tell anyone what we're about or what we're doing?
Not really. Like in Eriador is, there are places where there are sanctuaries, but it is mostly the wilds, and it is mostly, outside of the control of any temporal authorities. Tharbad does have it's not a king, I believe it's a mayor, but that, where is it here? The current captain, not the mayor, is Lord Gurno, but Lord Gurno barely has control over Tharbad, as it is. There are, folks in service to him that you may consider something like a watch, but they don't really... you really are left to your own devices to keep yourself safe in Tharbad. It is a city that is barely held together through the force of his personality and the authority, the ancestral authority of his wife, the Lady Stock. As soon as you leave Tharbad, particularly if you're heading into the Swan Fleet, there will be no authority. So you don't need to check in with anybody. This is... Right. Let's head on over to grab the characters
we will
here.
Be the authority.
Yeah. Does my dwarven map have anything interesting on it of this region, or is that just a use for an exploration type of?
Well, it's good to think there may be circumstances where that might come up, but that's more a matter of us interpreting dice results to tie it back to the thing, because you're going to mechanically what it does is it gives you an extra dice. For travel checks.
Cool. Okay.
So, heading into the Swan Fleet, Gwyndor, what you will know as well is that as much as it's good to know that there is apparently a refuge in there, and there may be ruins dating back to the Second Age. The shadow has fallen on Swanfleet, which means that it is one of those zones where as soon as you get in there, we immediately roll for an encounter because it is a perilous region as far as the rules are concerned. It also means that normally we make a check to see how far you guys get in your travels before an event happens. That is not the case when you're moving into perilous regions. When you get into a perilous region, we automatically have an encounter or an event, and then we also have others, and those events can be keyed to whatever is going on in the region. As far as dangerous areas are concerned, if Moria, the Black Pit, is a 4, and Carndum is a 3, Swanfleet is a 1. So, relatively speaking, the shadow has fallen there. It is a dangerous region. It is not as perilous as going to those other places. Mechanically, what it means is it's how many events we go through before you carry on with your travel. Anything else you guys wish to do before you head out into Swanfleet? I guess first off, Carl, does that answer your question too about
yeah, that's
authorities?
fine.
Okay.
I think we are ready to go.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about travel. You guys should have control over your tokens now. This should give you your places where you can fill your role. This game is, or this version of the game is a little faster playing for the journeys portions than what the previous one was. Less sort of specialized results for it. The roles are guide, hunter, lookout, and scout. The guide is in charge of all decisions concerning the route, rest, and supplies. The hunter is in charge of finding food in the wild. Lookout is in charge of keeping watch, and the scout is in charge of setting up camp. The skills associated with this. The guide is going to be rolling travel. The hunter will be rolling hunting. Shocking, I know. The lookout, I think, is rolling scan, maybe? Or explore?
Awareness.
Explore.
Awareness.
Awareness.
Okay.
Awareness. Okay.
Awareness.
Yeah. And, it's on the sheet here. James, quit cheating. And the scout will be rolling explore.
Well done.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
go
I have none of those, but I can lead you guys and then hearten you.
Hey.
That helps.
So go ahead and
I have
place
explore at 1.
your token where next to whatever role you wish to occupy.
Makes sense.
Okay.
What's your explore, amylase? Or awareness, I guess.
My explorer is 2. My best is probably hunting. It's a favored 2. Explorer is 2.
So the guide is the only one that cannot be duplicated. Only one person can be the guide. You can have people assisting with every one of the other roles.
Okay.
I have a favored 3 in hunting.
Well,
Cool.
he's our
we can-
hunter.
We can hunt together.
Yeah. We need a scout. I'm a 2.
I have a 1. But I have, with explore, I have that dwarven map, so if that helps.
That does not. That would help with the guide. Because that only helps with... There's a skill listed next to each of your items, and that's the skill.
Yeah, it says explore in the parentheses. But
does it? Okay, then that would be count as 1 more dice in explore. Sorry, Carl, I thought I put it as travel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it says explore. I mean, you could change it, and I'd trade it to Vig for something.
No, it's fine. I think Vig is quite good at travel.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have explore because I get a bonus dice, but if someone else,
I have no explore.
Okay. Amlife, what's your explore?
2.
2.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we're the same in a way.
All right.
Okay.
So then, Dagmar,
And
if you want to go to help Amlaith, that would be 1 extra dice he'd be getting.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
do that.
And he's not your fellowship focus, so he's not going to get 2. That's where that would come into play.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then, perfect. You got everybody in their place, and you guys are ready to set out. The initial, maybe 4 or 5 miles out of Tharbad heading east is much like what you've passed. You're traveling over land. There are fields that have the rocky remnants of past ages along them. However, it is not long before you are engulfed by the Swan Fleet. And I'm not going to bring you back and forth to it, but here, guys, is a sense of what you are traveling through.
Oh.
Well,
Jolly?
Yeah.
Lovely.
I was expecting fleets of swans, not.
Yeah, it seems to not quite live up to its name. Gwyndor, as a warden, I think you also just have, and actually Nimloth, you as a inhabitant of Mirkwood, depending on how old Nimloth is, you may have recalled a time before the shadow fell, or at least before the shadows got as deep as they are in this current age. But you can tell that when a region has the touch of the enemy upon it, there is just a sinister cast to it. Sorry, Graham, go ahead.
No, I think I think Gwyndor just sort of looks across in sort of classic elfin fashion, and he just turns to his friends and says, "My friends, this is the Nin in Elf, which in Sindarin is the waterlands of the swans. But it is benighted, my friends, by the Dark Lord."
Now, the eye is something we need to track over the course of our sessions as well. You have both a Ranger of the North and a High Elf and an Elf of Mirkwood among you, so it starts at a 2. And as we roll eyes, we will see that go up. And when folks gain shadow, it also goes up. That is the attention of the enemy. And the higher it gets, the more perilous your circumstances, particularly if you set foot in the halls of Khazad Dûm. But I'm sure you'll be fine. So I'm just double checking to see. I don't think you automatically gain shadow by moving in perilous lands, but I've got something in the back of my head that says you do.
I'm sure we don't.
Let's see. Okay. So first thing we need to do is make a travel check for our guide, please. Very nice. Okay. No 6s on those success die, though.
Yeah, same as last time.
Okay. So you could spend a hope, if you choose, to roll extra dice and try and fish for one of those 6s.
I think I'd keep the hope for now.
Okay. Then, it is winter when you are traveling, so we are going to be
That's cool.
doing two events. Wood, since you are our guide V, give us a D6 roll, please.
Sorry, me.
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry.
That is okay. 2. The scouts. All right. And let's take a look. All right. All right. So, because it is a dark land, I get to roll 2 dice and take the worst of the 2.
I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Guys, this game is amazing. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, my only experience is with the happiness of the Shire. I
Yeah.
read some stuff out of the box set.
First off, ooh. Wood. Let's see here. So it is Amlath and Dagmar working together on this. You are making your way in, and very quickly you are finding, perhaps unsurprisingly given the terrain, that you are having to make decisions trying to guess through the mists of the Swan Fleet what direction you need to be heading in order to travel on solid ground. There is perhaps 2 occasions where Vig very nearly goes under, and it's really only by, dint of the top of his hat that you're able to locate where he is and yank him out of an unexpectedly deep spot. It is also unrelentingly cold, too. So it has not yet set in so that it is frozen and you're able to move across it, although perhaps the treachery of thin ice may be a blessing that you can at least see where there is water. But Vig once or twice has well and truly become soaked, and you need to try and navigate a safe and relatively dry way through here. It does seem, Amlath, and you can feel it in your bones, Gwyndor, that this place is almost actively making you feel unwelcome. The fair folk, your time here, it seems, the land feels has passed, and it may be in a indirect way trying to cast you out. So, Amlath, you're going to roll with 1 extra dice. I can't remember how you add that on the sheet.
This is Explore?
This is Explore. And
does a dialogue box come up? I haven't rolled on this.
Yeah, the dialogue box comes up now, so
Yeah.
you've got bonus dice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you know what? And roll with no extra dice because of the terrain.
Oh, I should have rolled faster.
It's all right.
The bonus cancels out, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't remember if it does rules as written, but
Makes sense.
I'm just trying to save myself comments for, you didn't do this correctly. Look at that, though.
Oh, look.
Amlath, nice. And a great success at that. All right.
Why is it a great success? Because of the 6?
Because you rolled a 6 on one of the success die. Anytime you get a 6, that is where like the official dice have the little runes on them.
Indeed.
And each 6 you roll adds to the quality of the success. Remember, as a agent of the White Wizard, as agents of the White Wizard, your fellowship can spend fellowship points to get magic successes on Awe, Riddle, and I can't remember, Persuade, I think.
Persuade.
Yeah. So, first off, everyone gains 2 fatigue. So if you add 2 fatigue for this,
where do we put that under?
fatigue. They're underneath your strength.
Under heart.
Under strength, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And does that add to the existing fatigue we have? Yeah.
You should have 0 fatigue to start. Sorry.
Okay.
If you do have any there, that
worries.
yeah, Gwyndor, your character sheet may have them from previous session.
Mine did
That's
too. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll just share that.
So I have like something under shield. That's different.
No, so
Okay.
under strength, if you go to
Yeah, I found it. I found fatigue.
okay.
Very good.
Okay. So then, that is your first. We also have a second as you are making your way in here. Okay.
Have we kept the dwarf a little drier?
I think you not only find, with a great success, not only do you find that there is a route to keep him dry, you actually find somehow a dry patch. And maybe this is where Dagmar's map may have come in as well, is there's a small part where it seems as if it is the one patch that is above water where there is dry land. That is not affected by seasonal floods or by rainfall or by accumulation of mist, and you are able to well and truly dry out Vig's beard for...
Yeah.
I sort of wonder if there's a scene where Vig sat on a log and he sort of pulls his boots off and pours out the contents.
Dumps out the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sort of look at them and look at each other.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have a rummage in Branca's saddlebags for a dry pair of breeks to put on.
Yeah.
Okay. There is also a hunting. Nimloth, while there is not any sign of the swans as of yet, and I'll leave it to you, Nimloth, you would not necessarily be as familiar with these lands or the history behind them as what Windor is, or what Amlaith is for that matter, because Amlaith is the scholar. Amlaith may tell you of the giant swans, the legacy of the swans were favored by the elves of Eregion, and I'm wondering whether you would hunt them or not. Whether you would refrain from hunting swans while in here, or would you seek them out? There is also said to be the ghost bird somewhere in the swan fleet, and it takes unkindly to those preying on swans, but
I don't know, what would Emily say as a scholar? Did he know much about the swans?
yeah, Amlaith would have known that the swans are a living legacy of the elves' influence over the swan fleet.
Yeah, I think... Go ahead, John.
What I know is don't hunt the swans.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's, if they're important enough that the land, got its name from them, then we should leave them and find other sources of food.
I think that's wise.
So then there is going to be a hunting event here, Nimloth, and it is perhaps when you're pursuing one of the more ruddy-looking ducks that also inhabit the Swan Fleet. You are going to suffer 1 dice penalty. So I think when it asks for modifier, hit -1.
My hunting knife gives me a +1 to hunting.
Oh,
Is that, so
absolutely. So there's no modifier then.
Okay.
And at your leisure.
Dice, 0.
Extraordinary success. Wow. So once again, 2 more fatigue for everybody. I don't think the extra successes do anything for these events. No. Now, but what you were feeling, Nimloth, is whether there was a feeling of dread. And while this place is there is the light of the elves has dimmed. Okay. We'll let Dave back in here. There we go. Dave's back in. So while the light of the elves has passed from here, this place still is just a wild place as far as you're concerned, Nimloth, and you suffer no feeling of shadow upon you. No despair. So, that has brought you guys one hex, effectively, into the Swan Fleet. Still no sign of the Swan Town or Medcata. What is it that you're looking for, guys? Are you trying to reach Swan Town? Or are you trying to reach Medcata? Or are you searching for those ruins?
Ultimately, we're looking for the ruins, right, Kevin? Or we're looking to learn about them, right?
Ideally, find them. If there's any...
Yeah.
If this is a... Like, put in less flowery language. If this is someone who is a contemporary and a either protege or, you know, lover or something of Celebrimbor was the smith who assisted Sauron in crafting the rings. If she learned her art at his feet, then even if she is no longer here, or if she cannot be awakened from her sleep, her tomb may have information on the crafting of rings, the lost art of a region. And if so, then there is a, there may be something to be learned from there. And the wise women of Medcata, they likewise seem to know something of this woman, of the, I didn't put it in chat for you, her name. Nethig.
Well, I was thinking from your researches, it sounded like Medcot might be the source of people who may know of the ruins. Because I'm thinking, wading through these swamps, it's probably like a needle in a haystack.
Well, maybe there's local lore that we can draw upon if we speak to someone in one of these towns or locations.
I was hearing you mentioned from your House of the Patient Women that they knew the secrets of the area, so that sounds like the sort of people we might ask.
Indeed.
As opposed to Swan Town, which should be full of bandits.
What was that, Carl?
Well, doesn't Swan Town, didn't we hear the rumors of bandits in the swamps? And that's like a... But...
No, there's bandits in the swamp. Yes, Swantown, Gwyndor is heard as a refuge, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, either way, I guess.
So what are you looking for, guys? Swantown? Well, you would know Gwyndor. Swantown is likely to the easier of the two to find. Medcata is said to be and the House of Patient Women is said to be a secret place, or at least a place kept not only by the wise women of Medcata, but by protected by the ghost bird as well.
I suppose I would suggest that the ravages of this place will wear down upon us very quickly, and so we could use the Swan Town as a waypoint in further exploration of this dark and benighted place.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, you can use it like as a base. Like we go out, look around, come back. Can we do that? Is that possible?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Very good. It's not without peril. It's not, of course,
Right.
for the reasons we understand.
Okay. So then, why don't why don't we do this? For your first hex into here, if you're trying to find Swantown, this will be we're going to set it at a resistance 5 skill endeavor. Skill endeavor is like skill challenges we've seen in many other RPGs. What it counts towards, each success and each extra success you've got counts towards trying to reach that goal. I'm not worried about a time limit because you guys are going to take as long as you need for it. What I'll do, though, is that at the end of each sequence, you will roll another event, or you can travel on to the next hex or continue on deeper into the Swan Fleet if you feel that you haven't found what you need here. You may find Swantown where you are. So what I'm going to let you do is if you can pick a skill that you feel is appropriate for helping you find this can be based on information you've gathered before. It can be things that you're doing now. Whatever you think. Now, travel, I think, is like weathering the road or the time of the road, isn't it? Read a map, evaluate. Yeah, that's that worked, Vig, for... Okay. Lore for Amlath, okay. Lore for Gwyndor, okay.
Yeah, I don't... I guess we're looking to look for stuff, right?
Stealth is more of a reactive thing. I don't know if stealth is necessarily going to help you uncover information for it. So, like, explore would be one. Riddle maybe one as well, because they're likely going to be using ways to try and conceal themselves, conceal the paths that lead to Swantown.
What about like awareness or something like that? Is that or that scan?
So
Trying to
awareness
detect some of that?
is the ability to react to some or notice something unexpected, out of the ordinary, or difficult to detect. I'm trying to distinguish that between.
Or I was thinking that, or maybe scan. I'm trying to find, like, if they can hide their tracks, then we can try to find them.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think explore is more about uncovering. No, that's not true. No, I think explore does that, but that's. I think the awareness will be fine. So then, Dagmar, what about yourself? What skill?
I think explore is.
So again, if you're seeing everyone else put in chat, maybe put yours in chat too, so we just know.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right, so then let's go the order we saw them. Vig, would you like to give us a travel check, please? You will suffer a 1
lucky.
dice penalty because of the region, though.
Oh, that sucks.
If you have any kind of item that would assist, look at that. Nice. So Vig is easily, what are you drawing on here, Vig, to get you through this region? Let me also bring you guys over to what we're traveling through here.
Not my first time in a soggy marsh.
Okay. All right.
I can see the faint signs of tracks when I need to.
There is perhaps another, little patch of dry. It appears to be, soggy ground, but you made your way over a log, and there's a small little concealed area, like, an old fire, abandoned campsite. Next up is going to be Amlath with lore.
All right. And -1, right?
-1, please, yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Oh. It's a Gandalf rune, isn't it?
A Gandalf.
Okay. So then that is it's an automatic success with a Gandalf, right? But nothing further?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So 3 thus far. Perhaps there's, you're making your way through here, and what you find sunken in one of the, one of the patches of dry land, you realize that your comrades have trodden over the almost completely buried remnants of a fallen elven statue, something that would have been a waymarker for some point. And just by casting some things aside, the stonework is fine enough, and the craftsman clearly, while not as immortal as the craftsmanship with some cleaning reveals the same level of incredible detail and skill. You can almost picture what this road must have been like at some point. but now collapsed.
Look at this, Nimloth, your kin.
Indeed.
So,
Quite well. Glad you found it.
nice.
Good.
Then we have Nimloth. You were going to use awareness.
Yep. And it's -1?
Oh, you're in there. Hold up. Let's do Gwindor next. Gwindor, you are lore.
So do I put -1 in the bonus dice? Is that right?
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem. I shall try that now. First roll.
Nice. Another Gandalf.
Oh, there you go.
Incredible. All right. So once again, another success. So you guys have 4 successes. Gwindor, this is not the first shadowed land that you have passed through.
No.
So you, what do you think? What is it that is heartening? What is the old lore that you're relying on?
I know some of the paths that were taken and the routes that were taken by the elves of old. Old stories of journeys through this land onward and into, let's say, Austin Edil itself, perhaps, in the maybe in the Second Age, and perhaps I alight upon one of these paths that helps us to sort of travel deeper and quicker than was expected.
Nice. Okay. And then we only need one more success here. Dagmar, would you give us an explore check, please, at -1?
Yes, so the Dwarven map gives a bonus to explore, so that would
+1.
cancel out.
Exactly. So just
Nice.
roll normal.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay. Well, it's not. I mean, you could spend hope to roll an extra dice.
What are we at? 4? We need 15.
Yeah, you're quite a ways off.
I don't think it's... No, we still got Nimla.
Okay. So perhaps Dagmar has your map out, and you realize that like the dwarves have just avoided this altogether. So, and this is where Lake Town is a navigable waterway, and this is just like you can't imagine trying to navigate this with a boat or a skiff of any kind. Like this seems actively hostile to any person making their way into this waterway. It's amazing to think what this land is doing to the river that is trying to pass through here. Finally, Nimloth, you want to give us an awareness check at -1? Okay. So you are 7 off. Have you any distinctive feature that would apply here? It could allow you to roll inspired and spend 1 dice and get, or 1 hope and get 2 dice.
This isn't a forest.
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you got that Mirkwood thing.
Yeah, wait.
Mirkwood elf thing.
One more magical success, but
I mean,
no, I
I'm
don't.
seeing trees here. If you wanna do that, that's fine.
Trees are present.
Trees are
these are present. It's an old forest that's been overrun with water.
There are definitely trees in here, so
Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 hope to get a magical success.
okay.
Calling upon the folk of the dusk.
So, what do you think it is that Gwindor is relying on his connection with the history of this land and the things that were told to him by his fellows? Nimloth, it sounds like you have a more fundamental connection to the nature in this region. What do you think that is?
Yeah, I think he just he approaches some of the trees and he feels kind of saddened, but he kind of reaches down into the land and tries to see what this place would have been like in the past, and that helps guide us a little bit further.
Okay. I
The
think
trees have memory.
Yeah, and I think what you may see as well is something. If you are connecting with the nature of this, something that your folk would call Nindraug, what we would call an otter. There is a little otter that kind of pokes its head up at one point, Nimloth, and it recognizes you somehow. You can see in its adorable little face, in its black eyes, there is a recognition of you and what your, because you are in your full glory as one of the elder folk, it recognizes you. And it seems to kind of splish you along. And it almost seems as if this thing, this Nimbraug, is drawing you to where the community is. And out of the mist, because that will give you your final success, you can see a community. And what this place is, it... the community itself, I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately. There's some amazing illustrations in the Ruins of the Lost Realm thing, but there isn't of Swantown itself. But what it is houses. There are dozens of them that are built into the trees that stretch above where this is. Now, what I was also looking up is because Nimloth, you are grateful, no doubt, to your little otter friend who has brought you here, who does kind of splish. Wasn't it that someone told you could trade with them as well? That the otters would, or the animals would happily parlay with visitors to the Swan Fleet? Well, in any event, he does seem to congratulate you on reaching this community. But because you have drawn on the magic of the elder folk, the eye grows stronger. And we raise it by 1. When you draw on magic, the attention of the enemy grows. So, we are already, guys, at our midway point. So we will take our mid-session break right now, and then we'll come back and see what awaits you in Swantown. So for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Trying to find a good setup for my camera. I have a bigger monitor, and it's too big. Like when I put my camera on it, it has to point down at me. That's kind of messed up. If I put it on my actual laptop, then it looks funny because I look at the main screen and I'm always off to the side.
Yeah, lovely view of your profile there.
Well, thanks, James. But yeah, like if I have to look at the camera when we're playing, I have to look at my little screen, which is where my character sheet is. So I was like, I don't do that. I look at you guys because earlier I had it up on top of my monitor, but it's a 32-inch monitor, so it's way the frick up here. Like looking down, it's not working. Figure something out.
I know, James, I like your Insta model perspective with it up, looking down at you. All right, I think everyone. I saw Graham's camera shift at least. You're all in black right now, Graham, but I think you're back.
I think you got the right idea, Graham.
Reconnect, yeah.
The Insta model, less double chin. Don't get told me and double.
All right, okay, then, guys. So you have, it seems, reached the edge of Swantown. I tell you, this as an aside, I cannot think of a poor fit for a game for the way I tend to run things. For a game, I intend to have 5 fucking seasons over the course of 5 sessions because I just want to spend time fucking around and drinking in the environment in this game. So this is not. The intended goal is going to be cross purposes to what I would typically do with this game. So then, as you guys are entering Swantown, how do you intend on approaching this place? I mean, Gwyndor, you would know that while there are signs that this is a refuge, or you've heard that this is a refuge too, it also likely means they are mindful of, or at least cautious with outsiders coming in. Dagmar, I think to your eyes, like this is just suddenly out of nowhere as well. Just because you had failed the explore roll before, and because it's such a different environment to what you are typically used to, it almost seems magical the way that this kind of reveals. Because of your connection with Nimloth, maybe you saw him following this otter along a fallen tree and vegetation choked path, and then suddenly this community built in the trees above the water suddenly appears. What do you guys do? No one seems to have spotted you as of yet.
So, gentlemen, do we take a open approach? That would be my suggestion.
Yes.
Difficult to sneak up when 5 of us with ponies.
Put my hood up. Hide my finer features.
I'd say straightforward as well.
Okay.
Straightforward, but
Yes.
cautious.
Right. So I guess I don't know, there probably won't be like an inn or anything here. But,
Oh, Sean, you're muted, I think. Sorry, I can see you talking, but... Tamo.
Mo.
Cheers.
Indeed, Dagmar. I was thinking we could keep our eyes open for a tavern, but I don't know if that kind of thing will exist here, but we can but hope.
Almost, certainly not. Just because of the... this is... I think that the elves keep similar refuges in Eriador, and the rangers, for that matter, as well, too, would keep similar places where they are people who permanently live there, but it is really intended to be a hidden place. And as such, you're not expecting people to come by, so there would be no need for an inn. You're not expecting people to necessarily gather other than in each other's homes, so there would be no need for a tavern either.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you approach? Do you just walk in? Do you announce yourself?
Probably announce ourselves. I'm thinking that since whoever would live in such a place is going to be quite circumspect, I would think of strangers. So,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean-
So either Amalith, if they know of Rangers, or Dagmar, since I'm assuming they're going to be mostly human here.
I have to say, I'm quite a courteous man. Courteous dwarf.
Good point.
I'm very courteous. I got bonus.
I am not courteous in the slightest. So,
So
I will bow
I will
out.
say I'll look for someone there. I just move forward. She is the leader, or she's going to pretend to be the leader. So she's going to step forward while she thinks people are dawdling, and move forward and approach someone and say, "We are strangers from the swamp.
So hold on.
Travelers from the swamp.
Hold on, Carl. Hold on.
We've heard of this refuge."
Let me tell you what you find first. So as you're making your way in, there aren't just folks, dawdling around out here. There are the houses, and there are, it seems, some kind of like almost like docks that are set up to try and allow people to move from one of the homes to another. And there is a younger person who is making their way along, the dock, seemingly carrying some bundle, and they see you, and their eyes kind of get big, and they look over you all, and then they turn and head back the direction they were coming, and they're calling out, Hugh! Hugh! And not long after, there are a small collection of people, maybe about 10, that come in, and there's one person who stands considerably taller than the others, and he looks like this.
Perhaps our former bandit leader. Oh.
He walks along the docks or walkways outside of these things, deftly navigating from one to another, knowing sort of when one will be uneven. Clearly, the way people are moving away from him or giving space for him suggests that he's got some kind of authority here. Dagmar, you can recognize the person you need to talk to here. And he steps up. The sword at his side is not drawn. And he says, "Hello, travelers."
Because hello, we are travelers through the swamp. We have heard of this refuge, and we are thankful to have made it here for rest and recuperation while we explore.
Well, it's not often we find travelers coming through the swamp, the Swan Fleet.
I do have a question, like when you finish out of character.
What curious mix of folk here too. What brings you? There's not many that wander their ways this deep into the Swan Fleet without purpose. Might I ask your names, travelers, and your purpose for coming to Swan Town?
So in that case, I need to ask a question to the fellow travelers and to you. So, I mean, do we announce that we work for Saruman? What is a protocol for that kind of thing in this game?
Well, it's a setting appropriate thing, so I'll leave it to what do you guys think? The rest of the party.
I say we're open, right? I mean, that's me, but I don't know. I don't feel people like skulk around in Lord of the Rings, but in that verse, especially people on a mission. But I don't know how. So
that being said, remember the whole fellowship thing was trying to travel incommunicado.
Gotcha.
Right, because they that whole thing was to avoid the attention of the enemy. The Eye of Sauron was.
So maybe I would say we're just looking for knowledge from that woman. What's the name of that woman?
Nathag.
Yeah, because we are. I say thank you for your welcome, sir. We are here searching for wisdom from Nathag, as many people do in these parts, and
Sorry,
well,
you're looking for
safety
what?
in numbers.
You're looking for what here?
What's
Ruin, wasn't it? Or her resting place?
a
Ooh,
resting place?
Sorry, whose resting place? I'm afraid I don't follow travelers. Perhaps
Aye.
the trip has no doubt been challenging for you. I'm the master of Swantown. My name is Hugh Blackbriar.
Well, Hugh Blackbriar, we are here then. We are looking for that. It would be great if you all knew.
I'm sorry, travelers. What are your names?
Because I am Dagmar of Lake Town. I've traveled far, searching.
And Lath of the North.
And myself, good sir, a dwarf of Durin's folk. Vague is my name, and a pleasure to meet you.
And you, rare. We find one of your kind. They tend to avoid these wet areas. You're welcome, Master Dwarf.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
And
the
there were
warm
your
welcome.
taciturn companions at the back there.
Everybody looks at Vague's trousers, which are sort of right up to here, like swamps. Sorry. And I'm Gwindor, and I am a warden of the benighted roads that lead from the south to the north.
All right, you're
Lately I've written down.
off your path then. And what about you, traveler?
And I'm Nimloth of Mirkwood.
An elf. 2 elves.
Aye.
2 elves and a dwarf walk into Swantown. I feel in the beginning of a joke to be made there, but I doubt that you're in the mood for it, having traveled where you have. Please, you'll be welcome in my home. We're warm and you can dry off there. And perhaps we can discuss who this person is you're looking for and whose resting place you mean. I have a mind of what you're talking about, but...
If the joke comes with a warm fire, no more swamp for at least a couple of hours, then I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Oh, indeed. Please. Come. And he turns to the others. Back to your business. Come on. So he leads them along. And leads the lot of you off in the direction of one of the Cranogs that, that make up this community. You can see there's, because of the mist that hangs in the air, this place seems almost as if like 3/4 of it will be perpetually concealed from any given place in here. So the community itself spreads out much wider than what you see. And the faces and the, clothing and whatnot that you see, it does appear as if there are folk from all over that are in here. And each home or each Cranog has its own kind of, its own unique aesthetic to it, where each has been built custom to whatever the tree would accommodate and whatever the individual was. This does, though, have the... I think, Vig, because you are probably the most traveled of all of these, this place has all those... It doesn't have the feeling of like a place where someone has come and they're hiding until they eventually find where they're going to go. There are all those little details that make a place a home, where someone has hung things that would not easily be changed, or they have carved things into the mantles and whatnot to make a place their own. This place, while unconventional and in the middle of a wasteland, it seems that this is where these folk live. And if you wish to know more about the Swan Fleet itself, these folks seem to make it well and truly their home. So as you're settled into the his home, which is going to be a bit of a cramped environment, but he does have a large enough kind of common room. Nimloth, you have no doubt that whatever you are being served here is the spoils of the Swan Fleet itself, of the Marshlands. And he asks, so then, please forgive me, madam. Would you say, Dagmar, that you were... Who was it you were looking for? And whose rest?
So I repeat.
So,
Were you looking for that wise woman? Right? What's her name? Nimrod?
Nathag.
Nathag?
well, so remember, guys, that's the name of the elf woman.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the name
Oh,
of
I was
Ella Bernbor's assistant, right?
yeah. I wouldn't say that. I was asking for like there's like this wise woman that might know where the ruin is.
Wise
I was
woman in
trying to
Miscata.
misdirect- Yeah, the wise woman. Yeah, I was trying to misdirect a little bit and not tell them exactly where we were going. Ask for
Yeah.
the wise woman. That's
So we have two ways of doing this, guys. You can indulge in a council here to try and speak to this guy.
Mhm.
Or you could spend a fellowship point, and because you are agents of the White Wizard, you can get a magical success.
I'd rather go involved in council if we think the swamp is a bad place.
Well, you get the same result. The only thing is, if you're going to council, there's a chance that you will get a shadow on it, or you may not succeed.
Don't we automatically get shadow if we use magic though?
Only if you. Oh, you would actually. Yeah, you don't get shadow. The eye grows stronger though.
Right.
Yeah, so that's
right.
probably something to avoid.
Right. So I'd rather not use magic if we can avoid it.
So that's
Maybe we
also
know
just
that. Maybe we don't know that.
From
Maybe
a
Saruman-
player perspective. That's part of the game too, right? Like if you assiduously avoid drawing the attention of the eye, not only does that not engage part of the fun of kind of being hunted by the enemy, it also means you're ignoring one of your advantages that you've got as agents of Saruman. So being
but then we don't get to roll
cautious
skills.
is not a bad idea, but it also means like that's one of the only things you get from having him as your patron. But your choice. What do you guys think?
I'd say use our connection to our patron. Let's make this quick and we be on the road. We have to find this place, and that's going to be our arduous task.
sure.
Sure.
I disagree, but you guys vote, so it's fine.
No, well, go ahead. You're welcome to it in your opinion.
Well, I feel like Dagmar is good at talking to people and engaging in council, but she's very good at
Trust in
persuade.
Dagmar.
But I will go with the majority. That is what I heard a good leader does. If we think to, I mean, what do we call that? Call upon the wise counsel of Saruman? Is that what we do? I mean, I don't know how we do that. What's the effects of that ability?
You get a magical success.
What
With a
does it
persuade.
look like?
What is
You'll
it?
say the right words, and it'll be almost like magic that the guy is suddenly persuaded.
Yeah, many colours, many colours.
But if this is potentially Dagmar's opportunity to shine, then I can totally understand that.
Yeah,
Risk of shadow, but Dag.
But I think maybe, perhaps, right? Perhaps. Well, I mean, that's kind of in part and parcel with their weakness too, right? And great lower power, and that shadow would lead to that. But I don't know. But again, she does say I would go with what the majority believes because she is a leader, and that's how I feel like.
So let's just make it easier, guys.
Good leaders.
Go ahead and put it in, if you want to draw on...
Dagmar or Saruman? Put it in the chat.
Yeah, put Saruman or Dagmar, and then just hit enter, and then we'll go with whatever.
Hopefully, I'll be the deciding vote if it comes to it. Or recuse myself.
Okay.
All right. So Dagmar.
All right. So first, an introduction is afforded, which we've sort of role played through already. But you will roll either awe, or someone can roll awe to impress strangers, courtesy to ask for support, or riddle to extract information. The actual interaction will be using enhearten, insight, persuade, riddle, or song. I'm on page 106 of the core book. And it's expected that the whole party will sort of, or fellowship will involve themselves with this.
What was that bonus you get on awe, persuade, or riddle?
Awe, courtesy, or riddle are the introductions, and the actual interactions are enhearten, insight, persuade, riddle, or song. And it's just like the extended task where you will... Yeah.
Right. So I mean, in Hearten, I'm three and favored. Plus, I have a bonus dice from Lake Town Stout.
Right. But I was asking, we also get a 1 die, I think, or something like that from being agents of Saruman for persuade or riddle. Is that right?
No, you can get a magical success if you spend a point of fellowship, and then at the end of a council, you can also spend points of fellowship to just gain extra successes. So if you fall short,
that might be.
You can draw on that.
Okay.
That might be good. Okay, that may be good to use it then. Okay. Well, I also have two courtesy, but I have a bonus dice for one of my gear. But
so
else wants to
the introduction is awe, courtesy, or riddle, and it is one person.
Right.
Who would like? So it sounds like Dagmar, you're doing that.
Well, I would. We can only do. Oh, the council is like a skill challenge thing, right? So
yeah,
I could do the courtesy unless someone has better chances. More than two dice.
Yeah. I'm useful if we try to talk to them without revealing our full purpose, because I'm good at riddle. That'd be my usefulness if we take that path.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Favored courtesy.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
If that helps.
To me, I should do it. So
Vig for the courtesy. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Get in there, Vig.
Okay,
you
so
courteous dwarf.
Vig, if you're doing the introduction, go right ahead. Give us a courtesy roll, please. I think it'll be with one last dice. He'll be reluctant, just because this place is hidden. So -1 for your modifier.
Fingers crossed.
Gosh. Come on.
Nice. Very nice.
There you go.
All right. So then the time limit is equal to the resistance of the council as set by me, +1 for each thing. The resistance is the number of successful rolls that you require in order to obtain what you're looking for here. Okay. What do you say, Vig?
Really good. So, if you could share your knowledge, it would be greatly appreciated. It's been a long struggle to get here, but clearly you've been here a long time. This is your home. I'm sure we can gain great insight from you as to find our route.
Okay. So then you can each engage in this interaction portion of it, but it'll be one at a time, and the time limit is how many times you can make an attempt. So we'll have... let's see here. This is where the skills like Enhearten, Insight, Persuade, Riddle, and Song can all be effective. So why don't you tell us what you guys are doing as you're chatting with Hugh Blackbriar, and that'll help us inform whether or how you're going to go about making your rules.
Amlath will use Riddle. He'll be trying to fortify Blackbriar's belief in the trueness of our quest without actually...
So, sorry to interrupt, Sean. What is it you're actually looking for then, guys? Things you could... This guy may know something about these ruins. You also know that Medkata is a place you want to try and find. You also hear there's wise women. He may know something about that. What is it you're trying to get out of this guy?
Amlath will try to find out about Medkata without talking about our quest, without saying why.
Okay.
Do we think? Well, I guess. Do we think that Medkata would know where the ruins are for sure, or do we want to try to attempt to see if he can circumvent talking to her, and he knows where these ruins might be? I guess that's the question.
But he's here, is he not? Or is that what we thought?
I think, yeah, that was our previous thought, was these guys may not know too well, although they have been here a long time.
Right.
But,
well, let's go for
being
the wise woman would know. We assuming that the wise woman would know for sure. So
well, we heard that they know the secrets of the area.
let's ask for the wise woman. Let's ask for the wise woman. Let's not bring peril to these people potentially.
Yeah.
Wise woman is more vague.
So, sorry guys, I'm still not clear what it is you're actually looking for. I'm hearing words being thrown out, but I don't know.
Woman,
are you trying to find
location of the wise woman? Introduction to the wise woman.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be looking for the Medkata information without revealing our.
Okay, perfect. Then, yeah, go ahead, Amlath.
All right. And do I have a modifier?
Okay. -1, sorry. Yeah. Because he's so reluctant.
Oh.
Now, this is where you could spend hope. You guys remember, can you only spend 1 point of hope at a time, or can you spend as much as you like?
You can spend 1, pretty sure.
Okay, the rules. They do that thing where they put the rules right at the beginning, which is helpful.
I think it's page 20, CRB.
Okay.
Oh, right.
That's what I have in my
hope bonus. Yeah, 1 dice to make 1.
It's 1,
unless you've got a distinctive feature that would play, in which case you spend 1 hope and you roll 2. That could get you there.
I have rhymes, and let's see. I have rhymes of lore. And that's what I'm seeking.
Hold on. Let me just, all right, you twisted my arm. Fine, let's go.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
So give us a 2d6 roll, please, and reduce your hope by 1.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's see.
So let's go.
Ooh,
Oh,
so close.
that's so close. Oh, that hope was all for naught. All right, so unfortunately, Amlath, and your blue bar should be your hope.
Okay.
And everyone should be able to edit their tokens, but I have been neglectful in that as of late. So, there we go. Okay, it did go down. Good. All right.
Could I support Amlath?
Then you wouldn't be acting then, and I think that it needs to be included at the same time.
No, all right. When I say support, I mean act.
Yes, you can also.
Sorry, yeah. I'm not being very specific about that one.
Okay.
So I'm going to act.
Okay.
And I think we've been going now for nearly 2 hours, and we haven't had two densely typed pages of poetry. So what I think is what's needed is a song to lift the spirits of everyone so that they can see and understand. And then perhaps I can lace in one of these old songs, stories of the swans of old, stories of the great wisdom that is held deep in these benighted lands, and speak of another age when people didn't need to hide, didn't need to lose themselves away in places when actually people could walk free. I'm basically doing a song.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's excellent. Dave, in answer, if you're aiding another, it means that you're not, like, at best, you're rolling one extra dice then, and that's one potential success if you get a 6 on it. It's better to act on your own.
Oh, yeah, I was just wondering that. Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, nice one.
But I like the idea of the singing like that. That's great stuff. That's, for instance...
there's a chorus. There's a chorus.
Yeah.
Come in on the chorus.
Yeah.
They created a wonderful harmony.
The other thing was, though, the other thing I was going to ask, though, is, because this changes, is if not aiding to help ensure a success, like, and sacrificing my opportunity for a success, can you use the same skill multiple times? Can multiple people use the same skill?
The rules for these things are really, like, I'm saying I want each of you to go. That's not rules as written. Like, you could just have one person roll over and over again, but that's kind of boring. And what I was going to say is I'm actually going to give you a +1 dice because that's excellent role playing on Nimloth's part. So, Gwindor, you're not getting a -1. You're going to roll with no modifier for your song.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming it's that ancient... let's see if I can remember how it goes. It's, I'm Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. No. So, go ahead.
Yep.
And
I see the songs perhaps sung in Sindarin in the tongue of the Grey Elves. For a moment, there is a light that pushes back the sort of darkness and that.
Let's see how your result is first.
Yeah, it's probably going to be crap. But
I would hate for this great description to be ruined by an Eye of Sauron.
Accidentally
it's a story of my life, Kevin. It's a story of my life.
Yes, me too.
Yes, just.
There you go. All right, so go ahead.
Thank you, Nimloth.
Yeah.
So I guess you did aid there, Dave.
So, Gwindor, what are you were saying? What do we see?
What you see is that even in this dwelling, which, as you say, was tightly packed, as the songs of the elves and the flow of the Sindarin that sings of an age past, it actually pulls away some of the shadows within this building, and actually there is a warmth to the light of this place which calms everyone and gets people sort of thinking about the possibilities of the future, and they're not tied to the sort of constraints of now.
You cannot see it too, but what we would see in the film version of this is that there is a small family of otters that has popped up and is now sitting near where the house is, listening to these old songs of elf. So, and one of them we recognize as the one with the little off-center tuft of white in its forehead that had led Nimloth and the rest of you here.
That's a lot. That's a lot of action figures that are going to get sold.
Oh hell yeah! Those things are not going to. Each of them has a name in the credits. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The wiki has an insufferably long backstory to them.
Yep.
All right, so we have Gwindor's got 1 success. Axel, we have Vig, Nimloth, and Dagmar left. What do you guys think?
So Dagmar is going to kind of, as soon as the song or the song is the last note is settling out, Dagmar is going to use Infarton to really give accolade to what Hugh Blackbriar has done here in Swamp Town and kept these people as a cohesive unit, and to instill charismatic success to him. So he means Infarton.
Nice. That's a great approach too. I think so. No modifier to your Infarton roll.
Okay, I do have a in Harton Lake Town Stout bonus. Is that?
Yeah,
Count
yeah. If
as
you're breaking
good?
out the Lake Town Stout, then that also will get +1. So it'll actually be
Oh yeah,
remember,
I passed. As with a good song, there was always we should always share a drink.
yeah. So remember, don't put the plus sign in. Just put a 1.
Yeah, no plus
Nice.
sign because then the world ends.
Exactly. Otherwise, Sauron wins.
Get it all?
Nice. Oh, but no.
Yeah.
God dang. All right.
Yeah.
Now you could spend a hope
Wow.
to roll some extra dice and try and fish for the 6s.
I think so. I have leadership, so I will, as the leader of this group, and
Yeah.
I
As
will-
one of your distinctive traits.
yes.
Yeah. So then go ahead and roll. Spend 1 hope and roll 2d6, please.
Okay.
Come on. Let's see a 6.
And I'm looking for 6s.
Yeah, you're looking for a 6 here. Okay.
Nope.
Still, that is 2 successes out of the 3 efforts.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. Veeg or Nimloth? Who would like to go next? I see Dave is saying Veeg. So,
So weak. James, you can do this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of.
in Hearten,
I'm looking at my
Insight,
skills and
Persuade, Riddle, or Song?
I love it. I love this.
This is fun. I like these
No, this is
concepts.
this is
I
great.
like these little subsystems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only have song. That's my only.
I think.
I can do the other ones, but I have no points or skills in.
I know.
I think. Master Blackbriar, you set us quite a puzzle here. I'm sure you know the route here, but you set us a challenge, I feel. So, may I chance you to a game of riddles to see if I can tease this little tidbit from you?
I will let you roll riddle. Yes, I am not engaging in riddles with you in role playing wise. So, yes, you feel free to make that roll. I will tell you, it's going to be at a -1 though. It's because that is not something. This guy has secrets, and he's not super keen on accidentally, being talked into them. But do you have any items that would assist with riddle?
No.
Okay, so let's give us with a -1.
Sadly, I will use a hope, I guess.
Oh,
Do you have a distinctive
Reroll.
feature that would come into play?
Because I'm trying to get hold of the wise women of the village.
Yeah.
For my own curiosity, I'm going to invoke my folklore, which I'll build into my riddle.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So give us a 2d6 roll then. Spend 1 hope. Come on.
You're so close.
There you go. All right, so success.
Nice.
All right, that is 3 successes out of 4 chances thus far. Nimloth,
Wow.
what are you thinking?
I will sing a song.
Okay. If you have another skill day that you think you might want to use, like they suggest those as it, but it's not a. If you can convince me that there's something that you should try, and also remember if there is one of your distinctive features that can come in, that will give you spend 1 hope, you get 2 extra dice in it, so your skill would effectively count as 2 higher. Also, if you have any item, I think the Elves of Mirkwood are pretty frugal, so you only have 1 like signature item or whatever it's called. But what do you think?
I didn't secretive. Those are my distinctive features, so I don't thinking those are gonna.
But I mean, what about secretive? If one person knows right? If this dude's got secrets, and you saw the way he interacted with Veeg, or Vague. Sorry, James, you've said Vague is how it's pronounced. I keep saying Veeg. You've seen the way Vague interacted with him. Perhaps and you recognize that this guy is trying to keep something.
He's trying to keep a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe it's a series of questions to try and get him to trip up and finally give us some information.
Do you want to use riddle then?
I was thinking more lore-based. Like if we about this, the things we know about this wise woman that aren't much, but if we can get him to.
Yeah. I mean, and Amleth has been pointing out the milestones, and Gwyndor's been talking about that. The song he just sang is likely about the swans of Eregion.
Yeah, so using lore and secretive to try and get him to slip up and give us some information.
Sure. So give us a lore check first at -1. There you go. Now, if you want to spend that 1 luck, 1 hope, sorry, not luck. 1 hope, and then roll 2d6. Oh, so close. Okay, so guys, where we're sitting with the sun getting low, it looks like you're going to have one more opportunity here. One more person can attempt, and you are too shy right now.
Two, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I can try to persuade him to help us. I have 3 dice in persuade.
Does anyone have a favored one as well?
I
It's
do.
favored. It's checked. It's checked also favored.
Yep, so that means you're rolling...
I've
Oh, go ahead, Graham. Sorry.
No, sorry. I was just saying that I've realised that I've worked out what favoured means now. Sorry. Sorry. I'll get there.
Progress.
Insight.
In fairness,
I've got one.
It changed. What favored means changed between
Right.
editions. So that's
Okay.
if you played a fair bit of first edition, then that is a yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That means
you
you
roll
checked,
with advantage,
checked one,
don't you?
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I've got insight. I've only got one die in it, to be fair, but it is favoured, and I wondered if I could use insight to just gently tease from him what do you really desire? No, that's Sauron. So it's more just sort of teasing out his concerns and sort of allaying them as we try to find more. I suppose is the way I would try and approach it.
I would say Dagmar sounds like she's got a lot more chance.
Yeah, because I have
Yeah.
You've got to
persuade.
roll a
Check-
6.
Yeah, checked is a favored. Is that what
Oh,
that
it's
means?
getting a 6. Oh no, I'm miles off then. Yeah.
Okay. So Dagmar, with the table set as it were, you want to try and bring this home?
Yes, I'm going to say
I'm mixing
You know,
metaphors there, but
yes. I guess I'm
you
going to
famously
try to
drive a
appeal-
table home. So
Yeah, I'm going to try to appeal to his sense of reason, wanting to help. He's a good man at heart. Look what he's done here in this town to get these people together and safe in this
Okay.
swamp.
so
Right.
now that you're trying to get
So I
something
just checked.
out of
So I
him,
checked.
I think it's still going to be -1 to the roll, but you can give us a persuade check.
Okay, and I click favored right on conditions modifier.
No.
Right.
Like if it's ticked, it's favored. It'll roll automatically.
So you just hit the
Okay.
dice button.
Yeah, just hit the
Hit
dice
the dice
button.
button.
Yeah,
And
and
-1, you said?
-1. Yeah.
Okay. Please, you Blackfire. Oh, come on.
Okay,
so far
but
away,
do
too.
you have
Okay.
a distinctive feature that could come into play?
I don't think fierce or generous would apply. I've used leadership, but I don't think it would. Generous in that, I mean, I could suggest we help them with something here in return.
Yeah, if you're willing to.
She's prosperous, whether it's money, she's prosperous.
Yeah.
We're stalwart people. We could help with some labor here.
Yeah, you could
I'll
give
offer
us. I mean, you're not going to stick around labor here. What you could do though? I mean, your Lake Town has been blessed with plenty since then. You could leave some stuff behind. These folk, they're making do with what they have. So give us a 2d6 roll then. Spend 1 hope and a 2d6, please.
Yeah, I need to.
There
Yes.
you go. There's
There
a
we
2.
go.
Nice. And
And
then
it's a success, right? Is that you add it to the 8? Is that what happens?
exactly. So that is
Oh, and a
7
6.
to that brings you to the 15, which is 1 success, and the 6 gives you your second one, guys. You've got your necessary 6.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you could have also spent fellowship
job, team.
points to to gain them through Sauron, but you will also have an opportunity to rest here, guys, which will do 2 things.
Oh, that's good.
You have 5 fellowship points. You can convert those into hope if you choose to.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. So we add back to our hope among us.
Well,
Is that
it's
what we do?
5 points that spread around, so you guys can choose.
I'm okay. I'm okay for hope. I haven't got much hope anyway. I'm beset by work, but I don't need any points.
We haven't spent too much.
Oh,
so-
shit. You know what? Gwyndor actually can't during a rest. That's right. You know what? It's only during the...
Oh, yeah.
right, the elves they work a little different.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah,
that
the
too,
elves of
actually.
Rivendell, because you are...
Yeah.
Elves
beset by woe. That's this is maybe what you're saying already, Graham, but yeah, only during the Yule fellowship phase. That's the only time you can gain your hope back. And I don't know if that's the same for the elves of Mirkwood. Double check
It
here.
might be an immortal thing, you know. We sort of get around to thinking about it, so only every so often.
Yeah.
So if we add 5 hope among us, that's 4, and then on them we'll see if he can.
I love that. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's full of lovely touches, isn't it? This game.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So gain back 1 hope here.
If you wish.
So we need it. Yeah, I get it back.
It
Yeah,
does
so everyone
mean
gets 1, and we have an extra 1, right?
it does
So-
mean though that if you do use all of the fellowship pool to do that, that means you will have 0 fellowship points left in order to take advantage of Sauron's patron ability. That doesn't use hope, that uses fellowship.
So
Okay,
let's give 1 each back, because then that's 4, and then we have 1 for using that fellowship.
Okay.
So I'm down to, So if each of us, if Nimloth, Vague, Amalek, and Dagmar take 1 back, and then we have 1 more for.
I'm only down 1. I'm willing to keep the fellowship in there if we want.
Okay, so 2. Okay.
This is the fellowship phase, Kevin? Is that what they're...
They're resting right now.
Oh, resting.
No, it's not
It's
the
a
fellowship.
rest.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The rest.
With
Because hope doesn't come back real quick.
rest, you're recovering
Right.
a number of lost endurance equal to your strength rating. So those of you who have...
Okay, that's great. Fatigue.
Oh,
Is that?
this will be a prolonged rest. So you are regaining all lost endurance points.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But we've not lost any endurance, right? We lost fatigue.
We got fatigue.
Oh, that's right. Fatigue. Right. So how... here we go. Oh, it's only the rules for... Where's it? 108. Yeah, fatigue you may only get back at the end of a journey. Travel fatigue, here we go. At the end of a journey, player heroes with a mount, which don't have...
We got a mount.
Who's got a mount?
I've got a mount.
I don't think you could bring that mount into the mire. Well, maybe you could. No, if you got that, ignore me. Okay, so then you can reduce your total fatigue by your mount's vigor rating. And then you can each reduce by travel roll. So why doesn't everyone give us a travel roll? We'll treat this as kind of the end of this first journey here. So everyone give travel with no modifier.
Right.
Okay. Oof. Ooh. All right. So Amlath Vague can reduce it by 2. Amlath reduced by 1. You can use your extra successes, Vague, to reduce other people's endurance or fatigue, if you like. Or do you need the 2?
I needed the 2 anyway.
Don't you get 1 back from your mount, though?
Yeah, so I get... Yeah, I had 4 lost, right?
Oh, shit. Yep. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Then, you're able to recover so those of you who failed, you could spend hope to roll an extra d6 if you'd like. But I think
I have to roll 6.
Yeah, like you're pretty far off there, Dagmar. So, all right. So then that just means that you're not recovering anything extra. All right. So let's talk about what you learned from Hugh then. Hugh, having been moved by the song, by your knowledge of the area, he is impressed to the point that he thinks that you may be rivaling the wisdom of the wise women of Medicata. So he does not know the precise way to reach there, but he knows how to reach them. The settlement is on the edge of a holy pool that is ancient beyond the counting of mortal men. There is the House of Patient Women. If you wish to gain audience with them, what you can do is to nail... Where is it here? Nail the skull of a bird to a tree outside of your encampment, and the ghost bird should arrive within a few days, and you can plead with the ghost bird to gain audience with the wise women. The wisest of the wise is Mother Wendereth. He is also mindful that there is a they speak to or are guardians of that ancient place as well. So if it is ruins that you seek, the ancient place favored by swans and beset by serpents, that is where he is. He has not seen it himself, but those who have had audiences with Mother Wendereth speak of the marsh vipers, whose venom is among the deadliest in the marshlands. And they are said to widely populate that region. The other option is to go and seek them out themselves. He can tell you the ways that others have found to get to Medicata, but if you are willing to take his recommendation, he will speak in favor of you, and if the ghost bird approves, then you may be brought before Mother Wendereth and the other wise women of Medicata.
Okay.
What do you wish to do?
So the ghost bird has to approve.
Yes.
We're really good at council. We've established that.
Well,
Very good, Master Blackbriar, then. We shall do as you advise.
Ghostbird
Yeah.
is an unnatural creature. It will weigh the fitness of your request without entertaining conversation. It will know.
I think, yeah.
It'll size you up on your chair.
Do you accept the judgment of the ghost bird then?
We have to, I guess. Otherwise, we'd have to
So-
wander around on our own, right? That's probably not the best option.
Yeah. I suppose Gwendor will be thinking it's a being of Arda, and therefore it has its place.
Okay.
Indeed.
We must seek out the gatekeeper. Gate entrance.
All right. So then, with a evening's rest, any preparations you guys wish to do for your judgment by the ghost bird?
Would it help? Oops.
Go ahead, Sean.
Would it help to review some of my rhymes of lore about the ghost bird to in preparation?
I don't without it speaking to you. Like, what benefit do you think you would draw?
Just like trying to think of reminding myself of knowledge of such a creature. You know, that's the concept, but I don't know. I'm throwing it out there.
I don't. Oh, because sorry, Carl's not in the. He left the meet. There we go.
I could just do it narratively. You know, I was just wondering if.
I think the thing is, the ghost bird is not something that you've heard of before.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
here it's something that Gwendor told you about. And in your research, what I can tell you, Amlath, is when you were reading at the old library, none of the scrolls of lore speak of this ghost bird.
Okay.
So it is unclear what what the what thing this is speaking of, and if Gwendor mentions something of that this could be a spirit of some form, like nothing you've read suggests that is nothing you've read that speaks of the ancient times or the previous age references this ghost bird. That's not to say that it wouldn't be something that would rise later. So let's just hope it's not a creature of the shadow.
Indeed.
So setting yourselves.
Before we leave, does Nimloth asks, like the swans are sacred, or are they not?
They
And you don't hunt them.
we don't.
Are there other fowl that you slain recently that we might take a skull with? In the event that I would prefer not to tarnish the land by hunting the sacred creatures.
Yeah. You were hunting duck before Nimloth, so you may have, depending on
wouldn't have kept the skulls or bones or anything with me.
you're not an edgy teenager.
Or a modern day witch.
Yeah. So yeah, he definitely is easily able to. Waterfowl is part of the diet that these folk have. Yeah. So yeah, he would easily be able to do that. And I think duck fat is used for waterproofing as well in some cases. So then you are able to make you get your thing. You're able to make camp outside of town, and you were able to wait. It is a couple of days of waiting out there. You're not going to lose any other fatigue. But it is late in the afternoon, guys, when the ghost bird comes. Staggering out of the mist, this enormous skeletal creature shambles and then stops and studies you. A spear-like talon comes and snatches the satchel that Hugh had granted you to deliver to the ghost bird. It makes a strange echoing call and moves into the mist. It is a period of maybe a half hour, although in this mist it is difficult to judge. When it returns and the sack is returned, though you can tell it has been opened and something else has been placed within. Blindfolds. 5 blindfolds.
Okay.
Bloody hell. It was trouble enough to get through this marsh with my eyes open.
I'll walk with you, good dwarf.
You cannot see it clearly, but you can feel that the ghost bird is waiting.
I'll go to the stack and start handing out blindfolds.
Thank you.
I'll go do that. I'll go do that as well.
Okay.
Probably easier under your helmet, Sir Dwarf.
I don't know. Sean's got a good authority that helmets are famously good for perception checks. So, with that, assuming that everyone is putting their blindfolds on, it is several challenging days of travel in darkness. The sound of the ghost bird escorting you along when, at long last...
Wow.
Several days?
Days blindfolded?
Blindfolded for days. Dang.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, two of us in front
Grim
of
and
Egg,
perilous, this Middle Earth.
Yes.
two of us in front of Egg, one of us, one on each side behind. Just make sure the dwarf doesn't fall into anything deep.
Yeah. It does
Yeah,
seem
what
that
if
the
we're missing
ghost...
the dwarf at the end?
The ghost bird is leading you along, and it does appear, at least from, there is some stumbling because, you know, you cannot see quite easily, but it's not leading you anywhere dangerous. And when you hear a human voice once again, it is an old woman's voice. You may remove those now.
Do so.
And doing so, you find an ancient human woman. There is a large Cranog, even bigger than any of those you saw in Swantown. And behind her, there are a number of women, aged as well, too, but not nearly as old as what she is. I am Mother Wendreth. Welcome to the House of Patient Women. And there is a massive ruin that sits in the back, shrouded in mist. And a huge lake upon which a number of swans pass back and forth lazily. You sought the House of Patient Women and an audience with me. What brings such strange company to our house?
Dagmar.
Oh, you're muted, Carl.
Hey.
Mo.
Demo.
Sorry about that. It mutes me automatically. I say we are here on a important journey for our patron. And I bow. I will leave it to the lore keepers, looking at Gwyndor and Amalaith and Vague to sort that out.
Lord
To explain.
Keepers. What patron brings you here?
If no one answers,
Yeah, good.
Well, I think the time has to come clean, isn't it?
yeah.
With
Probably
this
so.
meeting, I think I will say it's the great Saruman.
Sir, you broke up to Sir Graham. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking it's probably time. She seems to be the one to something with. I think she'll see through us anyway. So I'd say.
Is he breaking up for you guys too?
Yeah, he
I
is.
think he's riddling. It's like an actual technology version of riddling.
Yes.
Where you can't
I believe he's trying to say Saruman the Great, Saruman the White.
Don't know if that's any better. No.
little
That's-
bit.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah, he fixed it.
Okay, so just another reconnect. So I'd just say, I'd say the time is come clean, really. So I would just say we've been commissioned to come here by Saruman, the Great Wizard.
There's a look of recognition that is on her face. What interest has the White Wizard in the House of Patient Women?
I get this wrong now. He recognizes the wisdom and law that you keep as a lawkeeper himself, and he wishes to understand more of one who lies asleep across the ages, one who knew the great Celebrimbor himself.
May I assume that you are spending one fellowship to get that magical success?
No, probably better.
Yep.
Okay. She gives you a look of knowing and says, I have seen the White Wizard in my dreams. And the one who rests here, too. If you wish to speak to her, you must first seek secrets elsewhere. And your patron, knowledgeable, you will seek in the Black Chasm. The dwarves of old, and she gestures behind, assisted. They built this place for the Rester. She has shown me in my dreams. Up a great mountain and down through vaulted galleries. Secrets of the rings. You must find these and then return. She sleeps, but you must delve deeper if she is to awaken. Come, we will speak of such things. And what she is going to offer you guys is a secret way known only from the previous age of how to enter Moria.
Mm.
It is not a safe place. And it seems, from speaking to Mother Wendreth, that the sleeper does not seem to know what has happened since, so her information may be dated. But what she knows is a secret way in across the Redhorn Pass and through the upper chambers, a place that was once favored by the elves of Eregion because it looked out over Holland. And through there, you can gain access to all of Moria. All. She would not call it that. She would know it as Khazad Dûm. But that, guys, having collected this information, Mother Wendreth will not bring you into the ruin. It is not safe, she says, nor is there anything to be gained. With the secrets to be found in Moria, you may awaken the sleeper. But you need to learn more of the ring that keeps her sustained.
How do we know we found these secrets?
There is one who was favored by both the sleeper and by Celebrimbor. And his name... Sorry, I should have written it down. Yes. His name was Narvi. Narvi, you would know, Vig. Narvi, while Celebrimbor may have been the craftsman who made the rings, Narvi is the one who prepared the mithril used to forge them. A craftsman unmatched among your kind. If Narvi had secrets and what the sleeper may not know, and what you would, Narvi, after the fall of Eregion, continued his work in ring lore within Khazad Dûm. If you can find the workshop or forge of Narvi within the Black Chasm, it may have the information necessary that the House of Patient Women have been waiting a long time. Perhaps you are the Fellowship who will return with the information needed to perfect the flaw in the ring of the sleeper, and she will awaken.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, your winter comes to an end, guys. There is nothing further you will need from Mother Wendreth. and we will assume that you will be returning to Tharbad to winter with Arsenius the healer, to bring him the information of what you have discovered. And we will engage in a Yule phase of the Fellowship phase. So you guys will each gain 3 XP. I think it's double skill XP during a Yule phase. So you'll gain 6 XP for the... Let's see here.
Where do you put that? Best 6.
Here we go.
It shows like adventure points and skill points.
So adventure points, skill points will be double, and adventure points are 3. So it'll be 6 skill points and 3 adventure points, because it's the Yule season. No, that's not right. It's you gain a number of bonus skill points equal to your wits rating. So it's 3 skill points plus your wits, 3 adventure points. And then you may also, and we'll do this offline, page 121 is where the Fellowship phase undertakings begin. You will be able to do that. Some of those can only be done during Yule. And I think during Yule you get to do 1 extra Fellowship phase activity. Yeah, here's the way it works. During an ordinary Fellowship phase, the company as a group choose 1 undertaking. During the Yule Fellowship phase, each player chooses 1 undertaking instead. In addition, during each Fellowship phase, the company is entitled to choose 1 additional undertaking, selecting it from among those listed as free based on the callings. Okay, so each of you will be able to undertake 1 undertaking listed on page 121 through 123. And you as a fellowship will be able to select 1. And then in the spring, you guys are heading to Khazad Dûm.
Okay.
So, we'll deal with the Fellowship phase in Discord, and then we'll just kind of announce what's happening. For those listening at home, we're going to be changing the roster. There will be some people who will be playing through all 5 sessions. Some people will be playing through some of them. So we'll find out who's back for the spring a little later today. But that, guys, will bring us to the end of the first phase of our adventure.
Awesome.
So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of the Year in Eriador mini campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the mini campaign, please don't hesitate to leave a comment at the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where there are channels dedicated to most of the games we run on the channel, most of the campaigns we have ongoing, as well as other channels like Find a Group or GM Discussion. There's a great community that has built up over the years over there, and you're more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. There is, let's see here, Noble Knight Games is the preeminent, 1 week off, guys, and I'm completely out of practice. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they will send an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserFrost, all caps, all one word. It's listed in the description of the video, and you'll save yourself 10% in your purchase. That'll change in a couple weeks' time on January 15, 2025. So if you're listening to this after that time, come back to one of our more recent videos, and we'll have what the current discount code is there. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, an incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in a bunch of different countries. You can learn all about that by following that link. And we have concluded our charity games and whatnot for the year, but we will be announcing when I do the year in review for 2024, what our plans are for next year. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart fellowship. So Dave, James, Sean, Graham, and Carl, thank you so much for joining me back in Middle-earth. Congratulations on uncovering some information about the Sleeper. I'm sure nothing but good things wait for you in the depths of Moria. We'll be back in actually a couple of hours for part 2. We'll be starting part 2 in about 2 hours. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our fellowship have uncovered as they are trying to do the will of the White Wizard. When has that ever gone wrong? And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
Yeah.